like crossing the finish line after a really long race. Part of us feels exhausted, while the other half of us feels more energetic than ever before. Years of hard work, dedication, and preparation, all leading up to this very moment. We're so ecstatic to finally say, welcome to the Bahamas. In this video, we're taking you diving with sharks, spearfishing, and swimming with stingrays. We woke up to our first Bahamian sunrise with nothing but open water ahead of us. Cole and I couldn't wait to jump in.
We've been waiting to get back in the Bahamas for a year now since we got married. Last time we did with sharks was on our honeymoon last year, and we're just like so fired up for today and can't wait to get in the water and see these amazing creatures.
The most feared animal in the ocean is by far the shark, right? Many different species of sharks out there. But one of the cool things that we did during our honeymoon back last year is we actually went shark diving in Bimini. And what was interesting is we were, free diving down 20 feet and swimming with a whole bunch of nurse sharks, and they were everywhere, right? But then the bull sharks showed up. 4 massive bull sharks. In fact, Emily's got a few photos of those on her Instagram. And what was interesting about it is after we got done diving with them, it was time to go. We get back up on the boat, and I looked at Emily, I said, do you realize what you just did? And she goes, yeah, we dove with sharks. I said, no, you dove with the second most feared shark in the ocean, the bull shark. The bull shark has the most testosterone and is the most aggressive shark out there, second to the great white, or I should say secondly feared to the great white. And she had no idea. She just was all about it and just, there was no fear there, right? And what stops people from chasing their dreams and going after what sets their soul on fire a lot of times is fear. So during this adventure, we are chasing fear. We are going to kick it out. We're not going to deal with it. We're going to be comfortable living in an uncomfortable situation. So while some people actually feed the sharks, we do not want to feed them, but we do want to attract them and make them curious. So I have this cheap Harbor Freight bucket that I've just drilled some holes into. And unfortunately, we did not catch any fish coming across here. Otherwise, we would be putting fish heads and everything else in it. So we're going to try with a small box of squid to try and at least have some chum to try and attract the sharks and keep them curious. So I just drilled holes in there. I'm going to dispose of our plastic because we do not put plastic in the ocean. And we're going to drop that to the bottom. You might have seen Laurent sitting in some of our other clips of the last video. I wanted to properly introduce our good friend Laurent. Laurent is not only a world traveler, but he is who helped take some of the amazing photos we had during our wedding and our honeymoon in the Bahamas, as well as a freedive instructor. So we have Laurent on board with us today. He's going to be shark diving with us and taking some awesome photos and helping out for the next few days.
Yeah, happy to be on board with you guys.
Thank you so much, man.
This trip.
Yeah. So we haven't seen any tiger sharks yet here where the boat's anchored. Boat's anchored in a little bit shallower water. So we're gonna take the dinghy and do a little drifting with it in a little bit deeper water, just a few hundred yards away from us. But this actually, as I was getting ready, I was reminded of a conversation I had with my dad about fear of animals, right? He's talking about how he would never swim with sharks, and we're here today trying to swim with exactly that, sharks. And what's funny about my dad is he grew up on a cattle ranch, and at a very young age, he was in the pens working the cows, worming them and castrating them and the whole 9 yards.
It's no different. It's just a different animal.
Stay with my different animals.
It's the creatures you know, huh?
But to him, that wasn't scary at all. He'd get into the pen with the bulls like was an everyday thing. So I think it's just the animal, you know, right? Like in the fear. We're looking to swim with bull sharks and tiger sharks, and he's looking to swim with or be in the pen with bulls. So no big deal, just another animal. You gotta respect them and know that you're in their home. And if they start acting real crazy and darting around, you gotta get out of the water.
You guys ready?
We are ready.
All right. Jump in the water. First Bahamas dip.
First Bahamas dip. We have now moved south. We didn't see any tiger sharks in the area of Tiger Beach. So we are near Sandy Shoal and go on a spearing mission to catch dinner.
Try and find some dinner. Yeah, unfortunately, Tiger Beach is not a exact location on the map. And we just could not seem to find the tiger sharks. We did, however, swim with some pretty big reef sharks.
Yeah.
And now it's time to focus away from sharks and now on dinner. Laurent, what do you have there?
Just shot this AP, African Pompano. It's a dream fish of mine. Got it? A nice spear mission.
That's right, and tell us about it. What happened?
Yeah, we just we jumped in this spot that was about 60 feet, and I took a short dive just to check it out, and these two APs, they usually go in groups. They came up right by me, so I got to call one in. Try not to make eye contact, and came right up closer to me, and I got the shot.
That's awesome.
Fight them back up though. They like to run, so I got them back up and then trained them and put them on the boat.
There we go. Laurent's first AP.
Yeah.
He's been doing this a long time, and first one.
After diving for hours, we worked up an appetite. While Laurent fillets his trophy catch, we work to get the boat back in order. As sunset approaches, we take Dixie to a nearby island so she can stretch her legs. Wow, we are greeted with the greatest hospitality.
So we're feeding them squid, and Emily's got the gloves on because she's a little bit nervous, but I actually learned how to feed stingray at my first job at SeaWorld. And you didn't know this.
I didn't know that.
So I worked at, I think it was called Captain Pete's, and it was a hot dog stand right at the stingray exhibit.
That's funny.
And I did this when I was like 14 or 15 years old. It was during a spring break program that SeaWorld offered. And so they sell sardines to people for like $5 a tray, and they teach you how to feed the stingrays. And you put the sardine between your finger and you put your hand all the way down at the bottom, and the stingray comes over with its mouth, which is a very flat mouth, and just grabs the sardine out of your hand. So
You described it like a vacuum.
yeah, it's almost like they vacuum it right up. So that's exactly what we're doing here with this guy. And he's literally like a little puppy dog in the water. It's so funny.
Water puppy. Obviously you grew up in Florida, so this is all like second nature to you. And me being a Tennessee girl, everything is new. You know, like when you're a baby, everything is new, every day is new. I kind of feel like a baby. Everything
I don't know
is new.
that me growing up in Florida there's a lot of people that grow up in Florida that haven't done this, I have to say.
But you knew how to feed stingrays because
I worked at SeaWorld.
So
Yeah.
I still have never been to SeaWorld.
No, that's right. We were supposed to go and we never
Never
got a
went.
chance
All
to
right,
go.
come here.
All right, there we go.
Come here, buddy.
Come on, there he sees it now.
Oh.
Hi. So cool. Such a
so
cool
neat.
animal.
Yeah.
Dixie,
They're also
you were so jealous.
so jealous. Stingrays are also one of a very feared animal in the ocean, particularly because of the death of Steve Irwin.
Yeah,
We're
so
talking fear.
and especially on the west coast of Florida where we live, or where we're from, they teach you the stingray shuffle.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're in the water, the last thing you want to do is step on one, because that's when most people get the barb of the stingray. So they teach you to do the stingray shuffle. These guys here are so docile because they're used to people coming here every single day or so and
And they're
feeding
really
them.
not that scary. We're on this secluded island. No one else is here, but yet we're finding tons of plastic. And I gotta be honest, I didn't realize how bad the plastic problem was until I moved to Florida. I think the number is somewhere like 7 either billion or trillion. Either way, it's a lot of plastic that is in our oceans. And it's just so sad. Like, we're in this beautiful place, the only people here, and it's littered with trash.
Found this coconut, which is probably a nasty coconut, but what I'm hoping is to be able to get some of this coconut husk, and hopefully it's dry enough, these fibers, that I can make our fire with, because we didn't bring any fire starter or anything like that, because we had no intentions of having a fire. But this stuff should burn.
Day number 1 in the Bahamas is in the books for the adventure cruise. We're going to share so many fun adventures together. As I reflect on this day by the bonfire, I'll be the first to say I was genuinely fearful the first time I dove with sharks. Fear is our body's way of keeping us safe, but it can also be irrational and hold us back from what we really want out of life. Do you ever stop and wonder what you could accomplish if you didn't let fear hold you back?